Go. Welcome to Drum and Bass HQ with your host, Jay Swif.
Welcome to Drum and Bass HQ. We are really joined by a man that needs no introduction. It's Nicky Blackmarket. What's up, Nick?
Hello. Yes, all good.
Wicked. So, Nick, you're well known in the drum and bass scene as one of the hardest working people in the scene ever. So my first question is, have you ever had a day off?
Yeah, of course I have a day off. You have to have a day off. You have to have some sort of either relaxation or something else, you know, for you to focus on, or a hobby or something. You know, that's always a good look. You need that. You need chill time to, you know, to go back into it again.
Yeah, definitely. I know you're a family man as well, like myself. Is that what you take
Yep.
most of the time out to go and do stuff with the kids?
Exactly. Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, I've got 5 kids, so yeah, it's all good.
Wicked. Now, you know, I've followed you for a long time. In fact, I know I showed a flyer the other day from a rave that I went to, and it was called Teen Rage back in the day, and you were on the bill with Slipmat and...
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Was this in Kingston?
It was in...
Kingston?
It was the same promoters. They used to do the thing in Oceans in Kingston. And
That's it, yeah.
Before that, they used to do the Rainbow Leisure Centre in Epsom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you were actually on the bill as just DJ Nicky. So that's how long ago it was.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So can we talk about your origins for a little bit, please? I know you've obviously been a massive drum and bass and jungle, but I know that you used to play Electro back when you were about 14.
Yeah. 14, 15. Started... I remember I used to go to Groove Records, which was in Greek Street in Soho.
Oh, yeah.
Used to be a little record shop there. Used to be run by Tim Palmer that run XL Recordings.
Oh, yeah.
Before he had XL, he had the record shop, Groove Records. And that's probably I got where I found my, you know, the love of music and DJing, and yeah, that was the start of it, I suppose, really.
Yeah. So what kind of tunes were about then in those days that kind of stick out for you?
Oh gosh. All them electro tunes, I suppose. Early 80s. You know, you're talking about Herbie Handcock when he switched. You know, he went into electro because he was a jazz. He was a jazz musician, and he went into the you know, indulging into the electro thing. So, you know, you had Herbie Handcock with his rocket tune. You had Tyrone Brunson with a track called Smurf. You had a label called Tommy Boy. He used to run it back in the day with Africa Bombata and Soul Sonic Force.
Yeah. Was that Tommy Boy that they brought out House of Pain? Was it that label?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah. Big. So do you still listen to like a lot of jazz yourself, just jazz now?
I listen to everything. I listen to anything and everything, to be honest. I mean, my mum, when I was growing up, I listened to a lot of jazz because my mum knew a lot of the jazz cats of the time. My mum knew people like Johnny Dankworth, Cleo Lane, and Ronnie Scott before he even had his club. And, you know, so I got a lot of influences from jazz, semi-consciously, not even knowing, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, when you're that small, you don't even take all that in until later on, until you get a bit older.
Yeah.
You know, so when I was growing up, I was listening to a lot of jazz influences. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you know what you started listening to music and getting into the DJ? Was it all planned to be a professional DJ, or did you just let it happen kind of naturally?
Well, I mean, I've always wanted to do that. I always wanted to do, you know, but obviously as time went on, and then I went into the record shop, and then another turn for the better, and just go on a different path. Do you know what I mean? And it's funny how things pan out, you know.
Yeah, definitely. But I know there's a lot of good things that come with being Nicky Blackmarket. You get to travel, you get to meet people. I know you listen to lots of great music all the time. But what's the most important thing for you? What is it that makes you love it so much?
For me, it's just nice. Well, I just like playing music. I just like playing music to a crowd, and always have done. And it's like it's nice now because I've been around for a little while.
Yeah, just a little.
I can play through the errors. Play a new set. Play a golden oldie set. The first time this year, the first time I ever played in Glastonbury. I ever been to Glastonbury this year for the first time, and I played a 91 to 94 retro set.
Yeah.
And it went off. It went right off, and it was great to go, to go back, but to play to a wide audience. There's young people in there. It was an old crowd, and just a whole different crowd in there. I was playing in the London Underground.
Oh yeah. No, I'll have to check that one out.
London Underground Arena. Yeah, London Underground Arena. And there was a retro night that they had there, which was the Thursday night.
Yeah.
And they had Hyperon Experience playing on the same night.
Oh my God.
And it was tremendous. I've got to say, it was wicked, because just playing. I started with like hardcore and worked it up into jungle techno and early jungle stuff. It was great.
Wicked.
A little journey. Take people on a little journey. It was great.
Yeah. I've got a quick question that came from one of my followers today, UKS Apollo.
Okay.
He asked, you were nicknamed Nicky 9 Bookings once. Did you actually do 9 bookings?
Nicky 9 jobs, yeah.
Nicky 9 jobs, yeah.
I've done it before, I've done that before. Obviously, not so much on a regs, but I have done it before. You start early and you finish late. Like one New Year's Eve I did. Start early and finish late. But yeah, I mean, it's great to do, to me, it's great to do like loads of different jobs in the night, so you could see the varied crowd, the varied type of music that they like. You're catching the different vibes.
Yeah, definitely. Because I remember actually a New Year's Eve. It might even be the same one that you're talking about. I emceed for you in, I think it was Newport in Wales.
In Wales, yeah.
Yeah, and I think you'd already been to 2 places then, and then I went from there to the Coronet to Clash of the Titans, but then you went to another 2 places before you came there.
It could well have been.
Yeah, I know you're just mentioning about the festivals. What other festivals have you done? I know it's coming to an end, the festival season, but you got any more coming up?
Yeah. There's one I'm doing, when is it? Not this weekend, but I think the following weekend. I'm doing a couple actually. I've got there's a thing in Blackpool. There's a festival in Blackpool that I'm doing on the Saturday the 13th. I'm also doing a Fantasia reunion on the same night, and then the Sunday there's the United one in Finsbury Park.
Oh yeah. Love a good festival. I know you've done a lot already, haven't you, this year? Yeah. It's fun. But I mean, me personally, I like a festival, little club. It doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean? Wherever it is, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna bust up the dance. Yeah. Actually, make people dance. That's good, because it brings me on to my next question. Where is the weirdest place that you've ever played before that you wouldn't think of, like an igloo? Oh gosh, you got me on that one. I'll tell you what. One time, I played for a guy's birthday party, and it was seriously surreal. It was great. It was brilliant. Yeah. But really surreal. I played in the hall of the Natural History Museum. Oh, wicked! Where they have all the
the dinosaur
dinosaurs,
bones.
yeah.
They kind of moved it out of the way, and it was really surreal. It was different. They had a guy. There's no MC at the time. They just had a guy in top hat and tails.
Yeah.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen, next up we have the Honourably Nicky Blackmarket. Guy with the suit and a top hat. I was like, okay, right.
Oh, I thought you said you were wearing a suit and a top hat.
No. The master of ceremonies. He was just, like the host of the evening, and it was kind of different. But yeah.
So talking of crazy things as well, so what's the craziest thing you've ever seen, or the craziest thing like a super fan's ever done? Has someone ever done something just completely out there?
Now you're putting it on me now.
Can you, are you allowed to say?
Just trying to think, really. I've seen some funny things in my time, I must admit that.
I bet.
Guy's head in the speaker through my whole set. did not move out of the speaker box, and it was literally as a speaker box. His head was right
inside
the box, yeah, and it was loud. It was loud and powerful, and the guy's head was right in there, and it must have done some things to his head, because he's still inside there. When I finished, his head was still in there. He was still bopping.
Still in there now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to talk about, you've done a lot of producing, and you've had quite a few record labels as well. I think Spam was yours, Gyroscope, Keyside. Yeah,
I did Spam. I did on Reinforced Records.
Oh yeah.
I did Spam on Reinforced. Gyroscope was my label, and I did something with Mad B on Keyside.
Yeah. And Lucky Spin, Easy Records. That's Fantasies, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Which one was the most fun out of the tunes that you've made?
All of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
I can't really say. They've all got their own. Their own times, their own vibes. Over the years, it's different. I can't really say, to be honest, and I'm still loving it. Yeah, right at this minute in time, I'm doing tunes with Voltage at the moment.
Yeah.
With Voltage was Kevin Fever, doing tunes with him at the moment, and I'm just fun. You know what I mean? It's all fun.
Yeah, definitely. Another one was Cartoons. That's your label as well, isn't it?
That was my label. Yeah. We've done very well with that.
I bet. I was gonna say that. For people that don't know, Cartoons was the label that released 2 Degrees.
That's right.
That's probably one of the biggest tunes of all time. I remember when it was out, every single DJ seemed to play that. So, how many did it sell? And how much money did you make?
It done well. It done very well. And it was like, back then there wasn't any internet. My shop my shop was the flagship for the scene. Everybody would flock down to the shop to either buy their rave tickets or just come and get some flyers and buy a tune, because you had to buy the tunes to listen to the tunes back then. There weren't with the internet, everybody had to buy a tune.
Yeah, do you know?
To listen to the, everyone had a turntable in their house.
Definitely.
And like I was saying about the shop was instrumental, come part and parcel for the scene. The whole thing, really, the rave, the whole cycle, the rave, the radio station, and the shop.
Yeah.
Part and parcel, all helped each other. And that's what it was all about.
Yeah, I was actually just about to say about the record shop, and what I was going to say was exactly what you just said. People used to come down there to pick up their flyers. They used to come just to see who was there.
They wanted to chat with me. Yeah, they wanted to come and have a chat. It was the meeting point, and it was the flagship for the scene.
Yeah.
And it's like, what cracks me up is, you had your likes of H&V that was selling selling drum and bass a little bit, and the likes of you couldn't go to one of those shops and say, "Excuse me, Groove Rider played this tune on Friday night.
Yeah.
It had a da-da-da-da-da. Do you know what it is?" And you couldn't ask that in one of those shops.
No.
But you could come into our shop and then we'd know exactly what, because probably one of us would be busting the tune, or would know what to be playing,
Yeah, definitely. And there were so many people down there that it was almost like a party. You know what I mean?
Yeah. On a Saturday afternoon, it come like a rave in itself.
Yeah, no. But I was actually thinking, obviously, when I was, say, 14, 15, obviously me and all my friends, we're from South London, so we used to get the 137 bus, get it down to Oxford Circus, come down.
That's it.
And
that was, you see, that was the thing. It was the whole event of, you come down for the day. You come down, you buy your tunes, you spend the day down there. You made the day of it, or you made the afternoon of it. And that was the whole thing. That was the part and parcel of, travelling down there. It was, nowadays somebody would just download a tune within seconds. You just press a button on your computer, it's there. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't even have to move your chair. Move from your chair.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was about go down to the record shop, you spend the afternoon down there, you listen to all the new tunes, wait for the promos to come in. You're there at the right time. You'll see all the DJs popping in as well.
Yeah. I mean,
that was it.
Yeah, I mean, it went, like, personally for me, it went through the stages of going in there, collecting flyers, and then obviously, Junior Buzz, he used to be my DJ, always still is, very good friend of mine. Used to go down there, collect records. We used to go and get our record bags from there. We used to get our tickets from there,
Exactly that. Yeah, it was the flagship.
Yeah, and then it came to, I was taking the records down to the shop, and I was taking the flyers down, and, so it must have been a really hard decision to leave the shop after all those years, Nicky.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, for me, I was in there for like nearly 22 years, and it was time to move on. All good things come to an end. Not the same anymore, but time that I moved out of London, time to move on, But I'm still out there. I'm still out there every week. Still out there every weekend, which is great.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm still playing music to everybody, so it's nice.
Yeah, and obviously BM Soho's continued. Do you get involved even as an advisory on the online store?
No, obviously I do keep, people do keep asking, they ask me questions, or they ask me certain points, which is nice. People still ask me certain things. I'm there for them.
Yes, I just want to talk about your radio. I know at the moment you are doing a monthly show on Origin. Is that right?
Yeah.
And you mentioned how radio is really important to drum and bass scene.
Radio has always been important to our music. It always has been important. And it's like from the days of when I used to be on Pulse FM. When I started Pulse FM. And back then it was like hardcore. And it's always been at the forefront of, it's the listening point. The listening point people want to know. Again, it's like another branch of the record shop. It's and it's another branch. It's still within that circle of the advertising, promoting the music. People want to hear what's going on. People,
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah, because I know people used to tape bits of the radio, bring it like on a
tape
dictaphone.
bits of the radio. I remember one time.
Yeah.
Thinking of a couple of points. I remember back in the day, before Pulse, I used to be on a station, Mad B station, called Friends.
Yeah.
Friends FM. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
And basically, then it was like acid house times, and I can remember being on there. This was like late 80s, 89, around about 89, and I remember they had a dance. They held a dance on that night. I did, and I remember I was up the radio. I was doing a show late on the Saturday night, and I remember one time I had to give out meeting point on the radio. And one time I remember the motorway got cluttered up because, or beginning of coming off the motorway got proper jammed because of the meeting point. Everyone going out the meeting point, and I felt a bit away about that. But, you know, that's what it was all about.
Yeah, that's how it was. Yeah.
And then I remember on Cool FM, I remember when me and Steve, God rest his soul, me and Stevie Hyper, the first time we went on Cool FM, it was after finishing. We finished the set in Orange Hippodrome.
Yeah.
When Hippodrome used to do the Orange, do you remember that?
Yeah. They used to have the big orange on the flyer, didn't it?
And they started at like 4 in the and went right through till midday.
Yeah.
And this time we went straight from there, straight to Cool FM, and we were highly excited.
Yeah.
And I remember going up there, and then Steve was just about to light up, and there was this little Calagas thing in the corner.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's that smell? Hold on, don't light up!
Gas!
And yeah. It was funny.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, it's, you know, radio is very important.
Yeah.
Very important to the music.
Yeah. Obviously, you talk about Stevie Hyper D. Now, I was lucky enough to see you and Stevie Hyper D perform loads and loads of times. I used to listen to you guys on Cool as well. I remember the first time that I heard
it was religiously. We had a 6 o'clock show on a Sunday, Super Sunday. You know, on a Sunday afternoon, I used to get Steve up out of bed, go around his yard and get him out of bed, and we used to buzz going up there. No sleep, hardly any sleep, maybe an hour or a bit sleep from the night before, and we go up there, and we'd still, you know, we'd be highly excited going up there.
Yeah, definitely. I remember the people that were listening, like myself, coming from a MC background as well. I remember the first time I heard him do the 007 lyric.
That's it.
Almost fell off my chair. I couldn't believe it. Amazing.
Yes.
So for me, for Stevie Hyper D, it's a combination of personality, delivery, and the content. What was it for you that makes Stevie Hyper D so great?
Everything. All-rounder.
All-rounded. That's
he was an all-rounder. Coming like a cricketer. All-rounder.
Yeah.
Sing, chat, rap, whatever. Get the crowd singing back to you. The whole thing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
vibes. Creating the vibes.
Yeah. I think I can remember rushing to the front of the stage when you hear that voice come on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, is there any place that you haven't DJ'd yet that you want to go into the future?
Yeah, possibly. You know what? I haven't been to Japan. So, yeah, I've never been to Japan. I actually did, with Fat Man D, in May, we did a tour. We did a mini tour of Thailand and Australia, which was fun. That was fun. But I've never been down the road to Japan, so that might be a one.
Yeah, so if anyone's out there in Japan listening, get Nicky out there.
Wicked.
All right. Well, as I always ask the guests, and I've asked you this before, and I hopefully know the answer because I've got the tune queued up. But name your number one drum and bass classic. What's the first tune that pops into your head?
Oh, you can't do this. I've got too many. I would be here. Too many. Too many. You see, that's the thing. It's like when you say drum and bass classic, it's like, where do you know,
where do you draw
it's
the
vast.
line?
It's too vast. Yeah. It's too vast. I will go on forever.
Yeah. I know when we were mentioning it before, you actually told me about a tune that I hadn't thought about for years and years, and I even thought to myself, what's that tune when you told me? And when I kind of looked it up, I thought, oh my god, I haven't heard that tune for ages. It was Dirty Games.
There we go. Studio 2, Dirty
Studio
Games.
2.
That's one. That's
Yep.
1 out of a million.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, that for the older crowd.
Yeah.
That definitely for the older heads. You know, that was Raw Club. That was, you know, Thunder and Joy at Raw. That was you know, Sunday evening, Thunder and Joy at Raw Club, which was in the Tottenham Court Road.
Yeah.
On a Sunday evening, that used to go off big time. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, no. Really, once again, thanks so much, Nicky. I really, really appreciate this. So,
Brilliant.
And I'll probably see you next at the Jungle Splash all day out in the sun.
Brilliant. Definitely.
All right.
Brilliant.
All right, mate. Well,
Okay.
Cheers, and I'll speak to you soon. Hope the tooth is feeling better.
All good.
All right, mate.
Nice one.
Cheers, mate.
All right.
Bye.
All right.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to check out drumandbasshq.com.